Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to a video where I kind of chat through the list of books that are on my radar that I want to read in 2020. First off is going to be a fairly big one, and I'm really nervous about starting this because I know it's a very long series and I tried a sample of the audiobook and it wasn't really my jam, so I'm gonna have to read all of these physically, which is very intimidating, but it's got a huge fandom and I'm just gonna say it. It is The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I don't know a ton about this series. I think it can have very dark elements of literal shadow creatures and in-between realm travel and magic that favors the women in the world rather than the men, and if the men use it then they dig into their lifespan and they start to, I think, go off the handle and kind of become crazy. And it's about this guy who might be the chosen one and might not be, but I've heard wonderful things about The Wheel of Time and I've managed to not spoil myself so far, and so please don't spoil me in the comments because I'm very nervous. But Wheel of Time is one that I want to start next year and I really want to document my experience somehow because I'll be reading it for the first time ever. So I don't know when I'll start it next year, but I know that I want to. So that is at least a start and a step in the right direction. The next on this list is The Dresden Files, and I've heard this pitched in 2 words that absolutely hooked me and I didn't need to know anything else, and it was wizard detective. James Masters is also the narrator of the audiobooks, I believe, and apparently he does an incredible job. So those, unlike The Wheel of Time, I'm going to jump onto the audiobooks for next year. I only know that it follows, obviously, a wizard detective and it's an urban fantasy. I don't really need to know anything else. That's kind of the premise of The Rivers of London, and I liked that book. I didn't love it because it didn't do certain things the way I wanted it to. I didn't feel much tension when I was reading it, but I think because The Dresden Files is like a 15-book series or more. Maybe it's more, maybe it's slightly less. I know it's a long series as well anyway. I'm looking forward to diving into them. I think they're going to be short, sharp and fast, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to enjoy these. They're going to be a whirlwind and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun. I think the first book is called Stormfront. And the next series that I want to read is also a fantasy series, and it's got a lot of hype recently because the show for it on Netflix came out on the 20th of December, and it is The Witcher. I know that the first 2 books in this series are compilations of short stories, and short stories usually aren't really my thing, but I will give them a go. It won't mean that I just go, ooh, short story, no, and just write it off my list completely, but it makes me a little bit hesitant to get into them. So we'll see. I do plan on reading them, so that's to be said about them. I haven't hauled them yet, I don't own them yet, but future me will own them and will continue the series. And I know that Elliot Brooks has a video on her channel that explains what order to read them in, so I'm probably going to consult that video before I start buying stuff willy-nilly. Next on this list is another fantasy book, and I think it's YA leading into adult. Please do correct me if I'm wrong though. It's called The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and I think the 3rd book is either coming out or has recently come out. I know there's a book in the series called The Dragon Republic, and I've seen people raving about that. And I've heard the audiobooks are apparently quite good as well, but I couldn't tell you much more than that. I know it's an Asian-inspired fantasy, and it deals kind of with opiate dealing, trading. I don't know, really. I just don't know. I'm now just speculating and talking out of my butt. So I do want to start it next year, and I think I'm getting it for Christmas from a friend. So you will see me haul it very soon, but I'm excited to get to that one. I've seen a lot of friends and a lot of people in the Melbourne and Sydney book communities especially rave about how good it is, so I'm looking forward to starting it. This next one is, if you couldn't guess, another fantasy. And I actually, if you've been here on my channel a while, when I went to Japan last year, I did a reading vlog and I started this on audiobook, but I DNF'd it because I just couldn't get invested because it was multiple perspective. And I hope it's not the same thing as I'm struggling with Anthony Ryan, but I struggled differentiating the different narrators in Malice with each other when I was listening to it. So hopefully that changes when I read it physically, because a friend of mine, shout out Alex, is getting rid of the series because she hasn't read it, doesn't seem like she's going to get to it anytime soon, and said that I could have it. So I'm going to have the whole quartet, and that's pretty intimidating, but I'm only going to set myself a goal of starting the series next year, not finishing it, because I think that might be a separate video, but stay tuned. I just know that it's a fairly old school traditional fantasy trope book, and apart from that, I don't know a lot. I think it has giants in it, and I think it's multiple perspective, and that's it. So hopefully I like it. The next one is actually a book that I keep seeing raved about, especially on my friend Steph's channel. I'll link her below. She has been talking about The Diviners a lot because she's really anticipating the 4th book, and it comes out next year, so that's why there's so much hype about it at the moment. But I really want to start The Diviners by LIBBA, and I've heard, again, audiobooks incredible. So I might be going down that avenue. I know that they're a historical paranormal story and it follows a bunch of characters who maybe have different ghost-like abilities and they can sense spirits and that kind of thing. And I believe it follows a demon in like the 1800s. It also deals with topics of race and racism and classism and sexism in that time period, and apparently it does it really well and really tastefully, so that's another reason that I'm keen to pick it up. And I've also heard that it just gets better and better as the series goes on, so I didn't include it in my anticipated releases video of 2020 because I haven't actually started the series yet, but I think it's going to be up there and I want to start it as the last book comes out so that I can kind of build my way up to it and join people in the release of the 4th book. So we'll see how I go on that lofty goal, but yes, I want to start The Diviners because I think it's going to be a great story. And then lastly on this list, I actually want to read more of Rick Riordan's stuff, but he's got a imprint called Rick Riordan Presents where he, I guess, boosts up authors who are own voices authors writing about mythology from their own culture. And I think, number one, that's just incredible. I love Rick Riordan. He's brilliant for championing other people's writing. So I'd love to start reading his Rick Riordan Presents imprint, and I think he just has it on his website. So I'm just going to go and read chronologically from the start because they sound like a lot of fun. I love some middle grade, I love some fantasy, so it's definitely up my alley. But I've actually also got Maya and the Rising Dark, and this actually doesn't come out until May next year, but I did a trade for it on Twitter and this arrived recently. So I'm probably going to start with this one and then just go back and go through his website and just order stuff as I go through his books. Or his imprints books, sorry, because they're not his, they're written by other authors. I don't actually think this is a sequel and I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I know that they're going to be fun and all of their covers are absolutely stunning. Like the colours on this are beautiful and it's only an advanced copy. Excuse me. I'm going to read you a little bit of the blurb. It says, 12-year-old Maya is daydreaming about summer break in her South Side Chicago neighborhood when she witnesses the color bleed from the world. She's the only one who sees it and the other weird occurrences, like the were hyenas stalking the streets at night. Not to mention, there's a scary man made of shadows plaguing her dreams. Her best friends try and find a reasonable explanation, perhaps a ghost uprising or a lunchroom pudding experiment gone awry. But to Maya, it sounds like something from one of Papa's fantastical stories of her favorite Oya comics. This already sounds lovely and I've got a little bit of goosebumps. This sounds so good. I'm so excited to start this and I'm so excited to start all the other books that I mentioned. I think 2020 is going to be a fantastic reading year because this year has kind of been an odd in between. It's like this year suffered from second book syndrome. It was just kind of the bridge between two good reading years. So I'm looking forward to getting into all of these new to me series next year because I think they're going to be incredible. And I don't know how I'm going to fit them in because I have a bunch of new releases that I want to read. I have a bunch of new series that I want to start and I also have series that I want to finish, and it's just going to be a lot, but it's going to be fun and I'm really looking forward to it. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a release that you're excited about, let me know. If you've read any of these and you think I should start with one or the other, let me know as well. So I'll chat to you in the comments and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.